All right, we are back. Safe to say that week 11 was a lot better of a week for me than week 10 was. Week 11 was a pretty good week for all of us, and we'll get into it on season 4, episode 13 of the Weekly Gridiron podcast. As always, we are your hosts, Adam.
Dante.
And look,
And hard to believe, we are in week 12 already. We are only 1 week away from the Thanksgiving slate, which is week 13 this year.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's all coming up fast, but let's quickly recap week 11, starting with the MVP being back on top of the fantasy rankings. Josh Allen with 42.68 fantasy football points this week was your overall leader and best quarterback. Behind him, Bryce Young with 31.82. I'll take it. And
Nice.
Dak Prescott with 24.32. Running backs, we had CMC 35.1, Sean Tucker with 34. Okay. And Travion Henderson with 32.3. Again, we love to see it. Wide receivers, Michael Wilson was this week's leader, 33.5. Ted McMillan, again, love to see it with 33. And George Pickens, 29.4. Dante, you may even still love to see it, even though he's not a Steeler.
I love George Pickens, and I'm glad he's balling.
Yeah. Tight ends, top two from this week, the same as last week. Trey McBride, 27.5. George Kittle, 24.7. But instead of Juwan Johnson, Travis Kelce slots in at the third spot with 24.1. Tracking appearances this year, fourth of the year for McCaffrey and McBride, third of the year for Allen, Dak, and Pickens, and second for Kittle and Kelce. And that is your fantasy recap.
Hell yeah.
And real quick, we can talk about this if you want. Um, as Penn State fans, I feel like we should give quick input. James Franklin has officially accepted the head coaching job at Virginia Tech. What was long rumored is now official. We pretty much knew this was coming for what felt like months. But I'll start by saying it's good for him. I feel like this is a perfect spot for him. He's going to rock it there. I mean, I felt like a lot of the takeaway when he left Penn State after he was fired was a lot of fans were thankful for everything, but we're kind of like, yeah, it's time to move on. His time ran out here. But you enter a place like Virginia Tech, there's no national championship aspirations there. He can do his thing recruiting. And the ACC, it's a lot easier to win there than the Big Ten. So you can see a pretty quick rise next year and see Franklin's brand continue to ball out and win some games. And just Virginia Tech, don't ask him to win top 10 games just yet. That might be a little too difficult for him, but yeah, in all seriousness, I think this is a great pairing, and I'm excited to see how it goes. But I'll let you guys give your quick thoughts.
Go for it, Luke.
yeah, I really do think it's a perfect fit for him. I think the breakup will be mutually beneficial for Penn State and for James Franklin, but certainly for James Franklin. We look at Virginia Tech's schedule next year. Um, week 1 against Virginia Military Institute. That'll be great for them. Old Dominion, Maryland, James Madison, Virginia, Boston College, Cal. And then you get into a little bit of what you would call the ACC gauntlet, Clemson, Miami, and Georgia Tech. And you finish out with NC State and Pitt, who is ranked right now. So this is James Franklin ball at its finest. It's why it's a good fit. Any one of Clemson, Miami, or Georgia Tech could be ranked top 10 any number of years. But, all of those teams have been fringe top dozen teams this year. Clemson had high hopes coming into the year, and they're terrible. Georgia Tech has been a good team. Miami has just been outside of the top dozen teams in the country. So it's a good pairing for him. It'll still be a little bit of pressure. It's a real program, and his recruits are going to follow him. But it's he's going to win them 9 or 10 games a year for the next 10 to 15 years, and they're going to be very happy with it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like he's gonna do similar things to with what he did with Penn State. Not a program that's super decorated right now, but had some success in the past and could, get them back to where they want to be, but maybe not, get them over the hill, which I that's really what I expect from James Franklin and VT coming up. But I don't know. I feel like they definitely have more of James Franklin definitely has more of a chance to be successful in the ACC, like Luke and Adam said. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I just hope they beat Pitt. Bless.
That
Well, I
yeah, that
think
will be nice. James Franklin owning Pitt for the next 10 years. That I'll be tuning into that.
I
Absolutely.
think you can count on that.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, moving on. We are headed to week 12 of the NFL season, like I said in the beginning. And we start things out with Thursday night football, the Bills and the Texans, both teams coming off wins. Buffalo's a little more impressive with how they defeated Tampa Bay. Houston kind of had to claw their way back to beat the one-win Tennessee Titans. But either way, these two meeting up on Thursday Night Football. It will be Davis Mills again with CJ Stroud still in concussion protocol, but it's looking like Stroud will be back for week 13. So, who do we think wins this one, guys? Let's start it off.
I'll go first. Um, I'm gonna go with the Bills. Um, but in all honesty, I'm not incredibly impressed with either of these teams. To be quite honest, I think the Bills defense definitely has some holes, and I think Houston, you know, Adam, forgive me, did you say Davis Mills is starting this game? Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, even if CJ Stroud was playing this game, Houston really isn't giving me much hope. Um, but they did have a good win recently. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bills here. I think they're just overall the better team. And even though they might have some defensive struggles, I think Josh Allen's gonna do enough.
Luke?
Yeah. Yeah, Bills for sure. Um, Josh Allen had a great week last week. Threw one really bad interception with a chest pass in their own territory. But other than that, he's still up to the touchdown machine that he was last year. And the Texans, even at their best, have not really even sniffed how good they seem to be in CJ Stroud's rookie year. So prime time doesn't matter that it's in Texas. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, I don't quite know what that chest pass interception was or what the intent was behind that, but either way, we'll start this out with a clean sweep, and I'll take Buffalo as well. And we're on to Sunday. No international tea and crumpets games this week. We have straight to 1 o'clock, and we're starting things out with a pretty good one. Colts at the Chiefs. Going into the year, the Colts obviously we knew they would we thought they wouldn't be that good, and they've been really good. And we've always looked at this as a big test for them, and I still think it is. Um, Big test for Daniel Jones here, Arrowhead Stadium, obviously, even though the Chiefs aren't playing quite up to par. And I will start things out by saying, listen, I'm tired of just okay, I'll change the way I'm starting this out. I'm picking the Colts. Listen, I am tired of just picking the Chiefs just because oh, it's the gut feeling they're the better team. Like last week against Denver. Oh, that it seems like a game you should pick the Chiefs to win. The Chiefs are 5-5 right now. They're not a dominant team. They're not a top 10 team in the NFL. They're not even in the playoff picture. And even if they're going to make the playoffs, the Colts are a better team right now. They're 8-2. Why shouldn't I give them their respect? Jonathan Taylor has been running all over teams this year. And while I think, yeah, maybe the Chiefs could stop him, nothing for what I've seen from Kansas City lately motivates me to pick them in this game. I'm going with the Colts. This is not my upset of the week either.
Cool. Go for it, Luke.
I am going with the Chiefs. I don't have a lot of really good reason. I think this is a pretty even matchup, honestly.
Mhm.
The Colts are a little bit better, worse than their record probably shows, and the Chiefs are obviously a little bit better than their record shows. It'll just be up to whether or not they can stop the run with Jonathan Taylor. And last week they did that with RJ Harvey, only 30 rushing yards on 11 carries. Jonathan Taylor is the motor of that Colts offense. They go as far as he takes them. Um, Obviously the whole package is looking better this year with Daniel Jones. The defense is playing well and they're winning games. But the an AFC game here, this will not be an easy game for either team. It's a good matchup. I just have a little bit more faith in the Chiefs if they can stop the run like they have been doing this year. I think they'll do just enough to win.
Dante, break the tie.
I think I'm gonna go with the Chiefs as well. I really don't want to. But like Luke said, they did stuff the run with RJ Harvey, but then again, this is a completely different animal. The best running back in the league right now. But it was pretty it was a 50-50 split going into the episode. I was gonna pick the Colts, but what really teetered the scale for me was the fact that it's in Arrowhead, and I don't really trust Daniel Jones playing in a hostile environment like that. Um, I think the Chiefs always, here's the thing, they'll look bad, but then they'll beat a good team, and we'll be like, well, the Chiefs are back. They are still themselves, and I think that I think this game is going to be one of those instances. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Okay.
But Adam, I completely understand why you picked the Colts because I was almost there too.
Haven't done a one, two, three in a while. Do we want to crack one out here for Seahawks Titans?
Yeah, yeah.
One, two, three. Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Seahawks, baby. Yeah,
Is this
let's.
anyone's lock of the week?
It was mine. Yeah,
Okay,
You know
I'll
what?
write it
Yeah,
down for you.
sure. Bounce back game for Sam Darnold here.
Is that your lock of the week too, then, Luke?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Here we are with a divisional matchup, the NFC North battle rivalry between the Vikings and the Packers. We have 9 going up against Jordan Love. So, how do we think this one goes?
I'll go first. Packers for sure. And I know Jordan Love got banged up. I'm not sure if he came back into the game against the Giants last week, but I haven't heard anything about him on the injury front. But even if it was Malik Willis starting, I'm still going to take the Packers. JJ McCarthy is bad, not good. He consistently overthrows receivers, extremely inaccurate. And going into this year, I was like, JJ McCarthy stock is up because in the past, it seemed like any quarterback Kevin O'Connell had, he was turning them into maybe not an MVP candidate, but a pretty good quarterback. Like we thought Josh Dobbs was pretty good. Like the jersey sales of Josh Dobbs went up by 200% last year or 2 years ago, whenever that was. But the fact that JJ McCarthy isn't succeeding not only says a lot about his ability to play on the field, but to maybe retain information and to pick up what O'Connell was telling him because it's really I don't know. It's really an outlier when it comes to O'Connell quarterbacks, but I like the Packers here, especially at Lambeau.
Luke?
Yeah, the mechanics are really bad. He is winding up and overstriding and firing passes, and he's missing. People look at that and they say, "Oh, the arm talent is there," but that's not what it is. It's just his mechanics are really bad. He can't see down the field. He misses guys who are wide open. He doesn't read a defense. It's like 4 or 5 games into his career, it's over. Like that, they should have paid Sam Darnold. I know he wouldn't necessarily get them to the finish line, but he's a lot better than what they have now.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, Dante, Sam Darnold, or not Sam Darnold, Jordan Love, Malik Willis. Heck, if they decided to go trade back for Sean Clifford, give me the Packers.
Love that pull. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
he's a
going to
Bengal now.
agree. I'm going to agree here and also take Green Bay. Like Dante said, I had pretty high hopes for the Vikings this year. I think I predicted them to win the division actually. Because I thought like, yeah, even though McCarthy is what McCarthy is, he has this elite offense. He's got a great offensive line and he's got a good coach behind him. You should be able to succeed with that, but apparently, the Kevin O'Connell system is not for everybody, and for that reason alone, I'll take Green Bay. Hey, if he throws a pick this week, he can live up to his nickname. He's at 8 interceptions, so 9 can throw number 9. His alter ego.
Bad. That's really bad. He already has 9. That's rough.
Yeah. All right. The other green purple matchup of the week, we have the Jets and the Ravens. Of course, more QB news in this one. Justin Fields has been benched, and Tyrod Taylor will be the QB1 in this one. Doesn't matter to me. The Jets are a dumpster fire. This is my lock of the week. Give me Baltimore.
I'll go first if you don't mind, Luke.
Yeah.
Um, in the first half against the Patriots, I thought Justin Fields played not awful, especially that opening drive where he let him down and, you know, they put it in the end zone. That really surprised me. I did not expect that.
hmm
But the Pats defense definitely locked in. But I'll talk about the Pats in a bit. But I don't know. He is a run first quarterback, which, not I mean, not really ideal, which when you're paying a quarterback $40 million, you kind of want him to be able to sling the rock down the field. But I don't know. I feel like of all games to bench him, I feel like last week was one of his better games of the year, to be quite honest with you. Um, but Tyrod playing Baltimore, um, I will say I don't think Baltimore is as good as they seem because, like, truthfully, I mean, they played the Browns and were getting beat until part of my French bum ass Shador Sanders came in and screwed the whole game up. He played really bad. I'll take the Ravens, but I'll say don't be surprised if the Jets keep it kind of close.
Yeah, the version of kind of close that I'm reading is just kind of what happened in last week's game.
Agreed.
27-14 was the Patriots score. And Justin Fields, let's also be real here. What you said was one of his best games of the year. He just scratched and clawed to 116 passing yards, which is above his average on the year.
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
um, like you said, he run first quarterback, which I still find perplexing because that was not who he was at Ohio State.
Mm.
But this is like year 5 or 6 for him now, and this is his third time benched, maybe. If not, it's his third time turned away because the Bears traded him. Um, yeah, give me the Ravens. I haven't really been watching them since Lamar came back. I've just kind of been box score watching, so I couldn't really speak to whether or not they're living up to the hype. But there is a lot of hype around them right now, and the comeback they're kind of pursuing with how they started that defense or started that year. Excuse me, I can't talk today. But the Jets are gonna get outcoached and outclassed in Baltimore. This one should be easy. Give me the Ravens.
Quick, quick, you know, point I want to make. How many, without looking, how many interceptions do you guys think Justin Fields has this year?
I bet the number's pretty low, like 2.
Adam?
Zero. This is still zero.
It's one. Yeah, it's
Oh.
it's oddly low. I guess that's because he doesn't throw the ball much.
At all. Yeah.
He's like the most, he's like the worst perfect quarterback, basically. Like he
He is
tries to be
the
as clean as he can, but
he is the Ryan Fitzpatrick of Kenny Pickett's.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's
I'd say he's the Kenny Pickett's of Michael Vick's.
okay. Yeah, you know what? That's not bad because it's the Kenny Pickett problem. Doesn't throw interceptions because he doesn't throw at all. So
Yeah.
he's the Robert Griffin III of Cam Newton's. I don't know.
Yeah, that's but
we're
even
we're losing the
yeah, his
plot a
peak
little
was really
bit.
good.
We're losing the plot a little.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Adam, you're up.
Oh, I said Baltimore lock
Oh,
of
you
the
said
week.
Baltimore? Okay. Cool.
Okay. Giants and Lions. The storybook season might be closed on the Giants, but they kept it close with Green Bay last week. Jameis Winston, as expected, you know, kind of balled out until he didn't, threw that interception to lose the game. And Detroit, I mean, rough loss on Sunday night, a game where their defense looked really good, but just couldn't stop the mediocre Eagles offense, as I'd like to put it. We'll get into that more later, obviously. But yeah, I don't know what the status of Jackson Dart is for this game, but either way, I'm gonna pick Detroit. This seems like a nice rebound game for them. They're back home, they're upset, and they want to take it out on somebody. Perfect. The Giants are coming to town, so give me Detroit.
Luke, go for it, bud.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Cam Scatterboo has been spending his rehab playing video games online, and he was at a recent WWE match, and he put up a better fight against Dom Mysterio than the Giants are going to put up against the Lions. This is a good bounce back game for them, like Adam said. A good opportunity for Jared Goff to kind of sling the rock, get his feel back. That was a weird game last week in the cold. Eagles. We predicted Dante that the Lions would kind of not coast to a win, but we thought that they were the better team, and they kind of got punched in the face a couple times. So this should be a nice bounce back game for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think the most insane part of that whole Cam Scatterbo situation was that that arena had crayons at the concession stand. But yeah, I like the Lions.
He found a way to them. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Lions here for sure. Tyron Tracy had a good game. That's really all I could say about the Giants. Wando Robinson was fine. Jameis was himself, exactly what we expect. Gonna make some good throws here and there, but the inevitable
End zone pick. Yeah.
end zone pick is coming. And I mean, Packers are a good team, but you could argue the Giants are playing even an even better team this week. Um, but yeah, I like the Lions.
Okay, Dante, take it away.
Yeah, that was a much needed victory against the Bengals. I thought our defense played super well, except for one or two plays, which is like how it is every week. The touchdown we gave up, Mike Tomlin. Why is Jack Sawyer on T. Higgins? Why is he defending T. Higgins? Really insane. I think if if it's even like I don't know, if we elevated Beanie Bishop, maybe he'd make that play. But Jack Sawyer's not making that play. Um, but overall, I thought our defense played well. We got to Flacco a couple times. I thought our pass defense was much better. Um, you know, I don't mean to spit in the face of the Bengals, but they really didn't play that well. Um,
Oh, oh, that I see where you're going there.
yeah. Um,
Mhm.
Mm.
our offense played fine. I expected a little bit more. Darnell Washington is so good. Oh my God. Raj, fractured wrist, pushing to play this week. I think he's going to play this week. I doubt in his farewell tour he's going to miss a game against Chicago in Chicago. That's just me. Would like to see more from our offense. Would like to see DK Metcalf get targeted more. And also, I want to see Darnell Washington in there 75% of the snaps. Shout out James Pierre. That was awesome. Uh, and Jamar Chase is suspended against the Patriots, which is kind of rad. Good for Luke. Um, though it probably would not matter in regards to the outcome. But in terms of this game, like I said, I think Rodgers is going to play, but even if he doesn't, if Mason's in there, I don't see a huge fall off with our offense. Maybe we even make more, shots down the field. Bears are really good. No, I wouldn't say really good. Bears are fine. Bears are a good team. Defense is like ranks really low, but takes the ball away a lot, and the Steelers really don't turn the ball over all that much. This is a tough one to pick. But vibes are high. Why not? I'll take the Steelers.
I'll go next. Yeah. Real quick, just on the Jamar Chase thing, I find it so funny the way he handled that. It just looks like a 6-year-old kid in a kindergarten class who clearly got hot or clearly got caught stealing the little girl's crayons and just didn't fess up to it. Brother, the evidence is clear. It's right there. You can watch it 100 feet away from your phone and clearly see that he spit on Jalen Ramsey. But anyways, that's neither here or there. We're talking about Steelers Bears now. Like you said, I also find it kind of surprising that Rodgers might not play this game. He's going to take any chance he can to play the Bears. I mean, come on. But either way, I think for the first time since November 5th, 1995, the Steelers will win a game in Soldier Field. I liked what I saw from Mason Rudolph on Sunday. If it comes to that, I think Mason Rudolph in one game could get them a win. The Bears, as good as they have been pretty shaky. They barely beat the Vikings last week with how bad JJ McCarthy played. The Bears aren't blowing out teams. They are clawing their way to wins. And the Steelers also play that style. And to me, I think the Steelers can play it a little better. So give me Pittsburgh on the road.
Yeah, I like exactly what Adam was saying. The Bears have been playing Steeler ball. Five of their six, well, not six, five of their 7 wins. Unless I put a sentence in between those two numbers. Five of their 7 wins have come with go-ahead score in the last 2 minutes of the game. They've been winning by one-score games, with the only exceptions being Dallas and New Orleans. Um, there was that miracle against Cincinnati, and then a winning field goal last week against Nine and the Vikings. Who better to play Steeler ball than the Steelers? And certainly, if Aaron Rodgers plays, like Donnie said, I don't think he's going to miss this game, and I certainly don't think he's going to lose to the Bears in what could be the last year of his career. Storylines like that don't always hold up. One team has a better record. Aaron Rodgers is old, but Aaron Rodgers over the Bears is one storyline that has like there's some divine intervention there to make sure the Bears never beat that man. So even without him, Mason Rudolph looked good. So give me the Steelers.
Yeah, one thing I want to bring up that Luke mentioned, Bears have been in a lot of one-score games, right?
Yeah.
And Mike Tomlin's record in one-score games throughout his career is 98, 61, and 2. So if it's a one-score game, Mike Tomlin is all over it. So if it's close, I think the Steelers pull away, but regardless.
Okay, Luke, take the floor.
Yes, thank you, Jamar Chase, for spitting on Jalen Ramsey, because now that makes our week a lot easier. T. Higgins, start learning Christian Gonzalez. I hope he didn't get used to Jack Sawyer. continue to look really good. Um, it was a bit of a slow start last week. We let the Jets get an opening drive touchdown. That seems to happen to us quite a bit. Drake may miss some shots, hit some shots. Um, but Trevon Henderson looked awesome. Per usual, he hit the hat trick. Stephon Diggs had another good game. We just keep rolling, and it's going to be up to this defense to contain. Well, no, Jamar Chase is out. There really is no good reason to pick the Bengals here. I don't think, because it's not like it's in the north. Cincinnati is not colder of a place than MetLife or New England. Another good win. Give me the schedule margins to become the first 10-win team in the NFL.
I'll go next,
I'll go.
Adam.
Oh, you go.
Oh,
You go.
oh, please, please, please. I'll
No,
go.
it's fine. I was gonna go and do a big tangent about the schedule thing, so you go ahead.
Okay. I think even if Jamar Chase was playing this game, it wouldn't matter. I think the Pats win by a lot. Um, Bengals are bad, man. I think Drake May is going to have his way with this Bengal defense. I'm sure Luke is licking his chops seeing that matchup. Even though they did play pretty decent against the Steelers, their best performance all year. But I think the Patriots offense is miles better than the Steelers. So yeah, Patriots by a lot.
Yeah, so I'll start by saying I'm also going to pick the Patriots. It's a no-brainer for me. But yeah, I find the whole schedule merchants thing interesting because they're a team. I mean, no team is in control of their schedule. You play who you're told to play, but yeah, I mean, the Patriots have had some easy games and therefore got some wins, but they've also beaten Tampa Bay on the road,
Right?
Buffalo on the road. They can win big games. I mean, when they have to play Buffalo again later in the year, when they have to play Baltimore, who says they're going to beat them? Although I must say it's kind of interesting how their only two losses are against
Yeah.
Pittsburgh and Las Vegas. Pittsburgh is a little explainable, but the Raiders week one is wacky. So
Was that in Vegas?
no, it was in New England week
Uh,
one this year.
Interesting.
But yeah, Drake May, New England wins.
Yeah, like Adam said about the schedule. I mean, they beat Tampa Bay on the road. They beat Buffalo on the road. I'm just reiterating what Adam said. There's a clear difference. You could tell if a team's playing poor competition and if they're like actually good, like the Patriots are, and there's a difference between that and like say the 11 and 0 Steelers who are beating bad teams and were clearly not that good, but we're just like that was a schedule merchant year, truthfully. But the Patriots, you could tell they're actually a pretty good team. So
Yeah, there's a difference between what you see on the field with the Patriots and what you see with my college football 26 dynasty file with Cincinnati, where I'm 8-0 and the number one seed in the country, even though my quarterback is a 72 overall and I've barely been beating Kennesaw State. So there's a clear difference in those two things. Drake May is my savior and my husband, and the Patriots are going to be the first 10-win team in the NFL. Who had that?
nice. Oh, yeah.
All right.
You take
Last
the
week,
ball.
where was the game last week? Madrid, Berlin, doesn't matter. Last week's international game has some competition because what is this? Browns and Raiders, the toilet bowl. 2-8 versus 2-8. Shador Sanders versus Geno Smith. Honestly, the game should be decided on who throws more interceptions, not who scores more points, because the defense is obviously going to carry both teams here.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess I will pick the Raiders. I'm even reluctant doing that. I just don't have a lot of faith in Shador Sanders. I really don't. He hasn't had virtually any time with the ones. So I mean Geno Smith has been the guy all year, even though can they put this game on like Stream East at 3 a.m. where nobody can watch it? Who wants to watch this abomination? Other than Browns and Raiders fans. I don't even think Browns and Raiders fans want to watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go Vegas, I guess. Um, whatever. If you pick Cleveland, I literally will not blame you at all. If you pick a tie, I will not blame you at all because I considered picking a tie. But I'll go Vegas.
I'll go Cleveland. I just think the only good unit that's going to be on the field is the Browns defense, and the Browns defense is going to torment the Raiders offense and make it. I mean, Dallas's defense really isn't that great. I mean, you got Quinton Williams, you have Logan Wilson now, you have Deron Bland, who's kind of just riding that insane, pick six record season. Um, but and Geno Smith really didn't look good against them. Um, I don't know how he's going to look against one of the better units defensively in the NFL. Myles Garrett is having low key one of the best seasons a defensive player has had in a long time. He's on pace to break the single season sack record. He's at 15 right now. He's absolutely tearing it up, and that's come from a Steeler fan who hates Myles Garrett. He's so good. He's one of the best defensive players in the league right now. Um, but yeah, I think Shador's not he's not going to have to do too much because this Raider offense isn't going to score too much. So I like the Browns.
Yeah, I think the conversation around Shador, it's tricky because last week Stefanski said that was literally his first ever reps with the first team was when he got in that game.
Why is that? What like I don't understand that at all.
Stefanski is so bad.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Stefanski is so really, really bad.
Yes.
Um, but then again, so is Geno Smith. So that's what I'm going to get to is I fully agree, Dante, with what you said that the only good unit out there is going to be the Browns defense, who happens to be the number one run defense in the NFL, who happens to be keeping running backs to 2.3 yards per carry in their matchups. And Ashton Genty, we all know what kind of a talent he is. He's awesome, but this team is going as far as his legs can take them. In the last, let's look at this 4 game losing streak. 1.2 yards per carry, 3.2, 3.2, 3.5. You go back 3.3. It's been since their loss to Indianapolis, which was 40-6, by the way, since he averaged over 4 yards per carry. It's not going to be good. If you keep the ball in Geno Smith's hands, we've seen it time and time again this year that bad things are going to happen. Um, Seattle cannot be happy enough that they got rid of that guy at the right time. Pete Carroll cannot be sleeping well these days. Give me the Browns. I can't believe it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Bit of a better game here. Jacksonville and Arizona. Jacoby Brissett. Did anybody see Jacoby Brissett's game on Sunday?
I saw the
47
box score.
completions. Given a lot of that was probably in garbage time when the game didn't matter anymore. They
Yeah,
still lost
Dante,
by
if you
20.
don't know about this, you're about to be stunned.
Yeah, I did not hear about this.
Jacoby Brissett, I want to look up the exact stat lines. I'm going to go to
Yeah, how many
ESPN here.
attempts did he have?
Give me 1 second. I will
Let
tell
Adam look it
you.
up so we get your live reaction, Dante.
Where's the game? Oh, I forgot the Niners are one of my favorite teams, so it's toward the top. Okay. 47 for 57. Two
That-
touchdowns, two picks.
that's insane. He
Yeah,
threw about 50.
452 passing yards.
most completions in an NFL game ever, right?
Yes.
How many passing yards?
452.
Oh my God. Honestly,
Which, by the
dude,
way, is less than 10 yards per completion.
yeah.
That's
Truthfully,
insane.
truthfully, throwing 57 passes and only throwing 10 incompletions is impressive.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
how many touchdowns?
Two.
Oh my God.
He had a 2-to-2 touchdown interception ratio.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
They got
something.
blown
yeah.
out. Yeah, they got beat
The
bad.
Jaguars, though, deserve some credit from me because they looked good
Yeah.
against
Yeah.
LA. And I don't know how much of that is on Trevor and the offense, but I looked at the Chargers box score. Man, they look terrible on offense.
Of course.
So maybe that's more on Jacksonville's defense, but still, if they can beat the Chargers, it should not be that hard to beat Arizona, especially because the Cardinals, I mean, such a weird team. They can beat the Cowboys. They can't beat the 49ers in Brock Purdy's return game. Brissett does all that and they still get blown out. I like Jacksonville to get their seventh win of the year and go to 7-4.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll agree. I'll agree with Adam. I'll go with Jacksonville.
Yeah, me too. The only real thing to mention about this was from last week. Chargers offensive line is like a revolving door, which on a Jim Harbaugh team, that's saying something. That's a problem. But the Jaguars took advantage of that last week, and I think that they're just a better team. So give me the Jags.
All right. Maybe the best rivalry in the NFL, Eagles Cowboys at 4:25 on Sunday. Second time they're meeting this year. This one is in Dallas. The Eagles took the game one season opener in week one. What do we think happens this time?
Go for it, Luke.
Put me on the spot. I'm gonna go with Philly, but I don't know. I'm impressed with how they played uh Detroit last week. I still don't really believe in Philly as a long term. They can run the gauntlet kind of team like they did last year, and that starts on the offensive side of the ball. But the Cowboys are kind of like the Steelers in terms of like you never know what you're gonna get. So, excuse me, if the Eagles defense has a week like it had last week, getting pressure on the quarterback, no easy completions, kind of stuffing the run, I expect them to be able to do enough to win this game.
I'll go next. I got Dallas. Um, Kind of for the reasons like Luke said. I'm not impressed with the Eagles offense right now. They're not looking good. They're doing just enough to win games. The defense is extremely helping them out. Um, yeah, but like we said, not looking good. Dallas defense, not great either. Like Dante kind of explained earlier, but the Dallas offense is cooking. Dak looks great. CD Lamb and George Pickens. Um, yeah, if they can catch the Eagles off defense off a little bit, I like them to win this game. Maybe it's a bounce back for the Eagles offense, but like I said, I'm a little suspect on them right now. Jalen Hurts is not looking good, and for that reason, I'll take Dallas and put Dante on the spot here to break the tie.
Yeah, this is my upset of the week. I'm going with Dallas as well. Uh,
Okay.
I just think they're too good offensively right now. I think Javonte Williams is playing really well. Dak's playing well. He's, I think he is close to being in the MVP conversation if he's not in it already. I think he's playing very good. Uh, and CD's being himself. And shout out to George Pickens, man, having a fantastic year. Um, I'm not one of the Steeler fans who were like, oh, we shouldn't have traded George Pickens. Chances are we probably wouldn't have done this in Pittsburgh with DK on the other side regarding how our offense is. But I'm glad he's doing it in Dallas. This is a perfect environment for him. Um, Dallas looks really good. And like Adam and Luke said, I'm really not too impressed with Philly. Um, they could still beat any team in football. Truthfully, that's how it is. But I just think they're a little bit inconsistent in terms of how well they play. So at Jerry World, I like Dallas.
Okay. Another divisional battle. This one, not as much excitement. The Falcons and the Saints. Michael Penix just today ruled out for the season, partially torn ACL. He is going to get surgery. It'll be Kirk Cousins on the road for Atlanta. Kirk Cousins for the rest of the year. And I'll get more into Atlanta later, but they're not looking good at all collectively, offense and defense. I mean, Bijan Robinson's doing his thing, but the rest of the team. The Saints, though. Saints are a tricky team because they had their bye last week and the week before they beat my Panthers 17-7. And we've seen one game from Kirk Cousins this year, and it wasn't that impressive. Dolphins came into Atlanta and blew out the Falcons. Yeah, this is my upset of the week. I'm taking the Saints. This might be the first time I've picked the Saints all season. This might be the only time I pick the Saints all season, but I like Tyler Shuck in this one to continue playing well. He hasn't been playing bad by any means. He's kind of solid, and I like him to keep that up against an Atlanta team that nothing seems to be going right for them right now, and it's going to keep getting worse.
Go for it, Luke.
This one is difficult, yeah. I am going to go with Atlanta. Don't have a lot of good reason. Kirk Cousins is just going to give that team different looks. It's going to be a bit of a different offense. Bijan Robinson's going to be very involved. When that happens, good things happen. I I I like how Tower Shuck looked 2 weeks ago against Carolina, and they got 17 points. And don't get me wrong, Atlanta is hilariously mediocre, but this is just a game that I apologize for anybody who paid for a ticket to go to this one. You should want your money back, and you should go watch this on the couch, or better yet, turn on something else, like watching paint dry. Give me the Falcons.
I'm split, man. I'm not too sure. I'll
Yeah,
agree with Luke. I'll go with the Falcons. I just think they have more offensive firepower than the Saints. I don't think either of these teams are very good. I think we could all agree with that. Um, but yeah, I'll go with the Falcons. At the very least, they're going to look a little bit different, and Saints will have to prepare for Cousins. I know that's not an insane task, but it'll be at least different the first time around than when they played him. So I'll go with Atlanta.
Okay. All right, Sunday night football, Tampa Bay at the Rams. This is going to be a good one, guys. Much better, I guess, than last week's Sunday night game. I forgot it was Lions Eagles. There was a lot of hype in that one, but that game was kind of a stinker. But I'm excited for this one. There should be some points scored in this one because the Rams offense is humming right now. Their defense looks really good. The Rams as a whole look like the best team in football. And the Bucks are going to have to possibly play some catch up here. So you can expect to see Baker throwing that ball downfield, getting them in the end zone. I like the Rams in this one. Like I said, they look like the best team in the NFL right now. Buccaneers kind of struggling, 2 losses in a row. They lost to the Pats and they lost to the Bills. And all I'm going to say to you, Tampa fans, don't keep losing because we're on your tail. And I'll get into that more in a second. But I like the Rams in this one. Like I said, best team in the NFL right now. They look really good. Also, I will be right back, but you guys go ahead and start making your picks.
Yeah, I like the Rams too. Bucks, not really looking like the team we thought they were. And I was a Ram doubter against an also good Seahawks team last week. That did come down to the wire, but the Rams pulled away. Um, so I feel like it's my due diligence to pick the Rams this week because truthfully, I do think they win this game, especially at home.
I do agree, especially at home. I'm going to pick the Rams. However, I'm going to use my time on air to talk about the Bucks a little bit more. So, two really interesting kind of sides of the same coin. This would be their fourth loss in 5 weeks. Lions and they beat the Saints, Patriots, Bills, Rams. Uh, but in the last three weeks, they've averaged about 26 points per game, 23, 23, and 32. That was just the defense lost a shootout to Josh Allen, and that very well might happen again here to Matthew Stafford. Um, but I'm also not going to be ringing the alarm quite yet. Adam, you were saying, "Oh, you watch out, or Panthers are on your tail," and they are. But this Buccaneers schedule after the Rams, Cardinals, Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers. So they could be 6-5 and end up 12-5. I'm not worried about them, but I'm absolutely picking the Rams.
Dante, who did you go with?
I went with the Rams, and I'll make one more point. Um, Seems like lately, I mean, Luke just talked about the ease up of the Bucks schedule, but whatever the opposite of a schedule merchant is, that's what the Bucks have been because
Yeah.
they've just been going through a gauntlet, and it's not like they've been losing to bad teams. They
No, they're okay. Their losses: Eagles, Lions, Patriots, Bills.
yeah, which are
Yeah,
all pretty good teams.
yeah.
But once we get to the playoffs, those are the type of teams you're going to be playing. I mean, obviously in the NFC, but
And the only really bad game of those was 9 points against the Lions. Lost by 6 to the Eagles, 31-25, 28-25, 23 to the Pats, 44-32 to the Bills. Listen, like I just said, they can go 6-5, and they might go 12-5. I'm not really that worried about them.
yeah.
You with us, Adam?
I'm here.
Camera's off, buddy.
I
Oh,
know.
all right. I'll trust you.
I'm back.
Take it
I
away,
had to
the
change real
Adam
quick.
Bowl.
He had to go into the phone booth.
Man, um, I am on cloud nine with this team, and that's ironic because my quarterback wears number nine. And yeah, Atlanta, who do you think you're going to pick in the first round this year? Because I'm going with nobody from the University of Nobody because the Rams have your pick. How does it feel to not have a first round pick when your team sucks that bad? Um,
You know
yeah,
how it feels.
this team is awesome. I will give you guys all the credit in the world. Thank you so much for believing in us because Yeah, I didn't last week. I thought I had a reason to, and we rocked the boat. We played really well. 30 to 27 overtime victory. Bryce Young today just named your NFC Offensive Player of the Week with a Carolina Panthers franchise record 448 passing yards.
Wow.
Road went 31 for 45 with three touchdowns. Rico Dowdle didn't even do that much. 19 carries for 45 yards. Ted McMillan, 8 for 130, two touchdowns, 11 tackles from Trayvon Moehrig. I'm loving that signing. Yeah, this team's awesome. This team's awesome, and we've got maybe the biggest test we've had since God, I don't even know. Our playoff game against the Saints in 2017. It's a Monday night game under the lights in San Francisco, a really hard place to win. First primetime game since 2023 week 2 when we lost to the Saints in Bryce Young's first home start. This is going to be an interesting one because it's also our first game against Christian McCaffrey, an old friend, um,
Wow.
who I miss dearly. But I will admit this team is playing well right now. I'm happy with the way we look. I'm happy with the way we're playing, and I'm happy to see him succeeding in San Francisco. And yeah, I can't lie, guys. I'm going Carolina. I think we're gonna. It's a gut feeling here. We can win in Lambeau Field, so why can't we win in Levi Stadium? Carolina Panthers could be 7-5. Why not? Let's go with it.
So sick. Luke, you go, bud.
I was taken aback for a second when you said it's your biggest test since 2017.
Yeah, me
My
too.
first thought was they've definitely had bigger games, like harder opponents since then. But I get what you're saying. With there's actually something on the line right now, it actually feels like you could win games like this. Where
Yeah.
past couple years you've certainly faced tougher opponents than this year's 49ers, but what did it matter? So I get what you're saying.
Let me just say one thing real quick.
Yeah, please stall because I'm not sure.
If the Buccaneers lose and we win this week, we're in first place.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think. I think. Yeah. Because the Bucks are 6-4. We're 6-5. We'd be 7-5. They'd be 6-5.
Yeah.
We're in first place if we win this week and they lose. So yeah, go Rams. But anyways, back to your point, Luke.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm gonna doubt, and I'm gonna go with the 49ers.
Okay.
Looking at their losses this year, Rams, Texans as a bit of an odd one, but Buccaneers, Jags, and the Texans was a bad Mac Jones game. They looked good last week. They're beating the teams they should beat. I think they'll be able to pull this one out, but I'd love to be wrong. And certainly last week, even though I picked the Panthers, I wasn't very confident about that. And nobody expected what happened last week with the offensive explosion. So it could go either way. That's exciting to say. But give me the 49ers.
I think just because I want it to happen so bad, I'm gonna take the Panthers. Give me Carolina.
Bang.
I'll be
Yeah,
the bad guy.
I like how Bryce played. I think we should pump the brakes a little bit, not to burst Adam's bubble, but it was against the
Yeah,
Falcons. But
fine.
uh,
He owns Atlanta. It's
yeah,
acceptable.
it did play well. It is Mac Jones, correct?
No, Purdy's back. He played on Sunday against
Oh,
Arizona.
um, you know what? Yeah, I'm still riding with the Panthers. Yeah, let's go. Keep pounding.
All right. That'll do it for us. Yeah. The quick change by me, I know, threw the jersey on. Fun fact, I have not worn a jersey for a game this year. I'm thinking of breaking that on Monday night. I'll be home for Thanksgiving break, and I know I have my McCaffrey Panthers jerseys at home. I'm thinking of throwing one on just to do it. You know, feels right to wear it against the first game against him. So, but yeah, week 12 should be an interesting one. Bye week for the Broncos, Chargers, Dolphins, and Commanders. So those teams enjoy your week in Cancun or wherever you're relaxing. But anyways, as always, we're your hosts, Adam.
Dante?
And Luke.
Have a good one and enjoy week 12.